My name's Vic Levitt. We run OceanHunter Sportsfishing, my son and myself. My son being Zane over there, he's laughing at me. But we sort of set this business up about 6 years ago. Or I set it up more so for eventually for him to take over, and he's kind of stepping up now. He's at the age now and he's got his license, so hopefully he'll be taking over very shortly so I can start doing some serious fishing.
I'm Zane Levitt. I'm an avid fisherman and I work for my dad on the charter boat OceanHunter. Starts pretty early, get up probably 5 o'clock in the winters and probably 4:30 in the summers. Get up nice and early, go get the bait. Once you get the bait, then you can start making your decisions of where you're going to go, what you're going to target, how you're going to target them, whether it's deep water to shallow water, down rigging to surface baits.
We've got a 7.4 metre ocean max made up in Coomera, up in Queensland. They managed to put this boat and got it through AMSA, which was a big step to get one through it at the time. So, yeah. Went all the way through to the big boats and came exactly back where we started. I've actually got a smaller version of this, which is an Edgewater 18.8, and that's exactly where I was 30 years ago. I had a little Haines Hunter centre console, so it's pretty bizarre. You come back to your roots eventually.
So last night, because I knew the boys were coming out, thought it would be a good idea just to go get a bit of a head start, get a bunch of yakkers, tried for some slimies, we didn't quite get them. And we always had the plan of going snapper fishing to test out the new Clash reels. And yeah, basically you need to put in the hours to get the right bait and to give yourself the best opportunity, really.
If you don't have that right bait, you saw what happened today. There was a lot of boats out there. Most boats were missing out. The boats that had the right bait were catching fish. So if you want to do your squid, your slimies, your yellowtail, take your time out, get your cuttlefish. You know, you're halfway there then, like really, if you're concentrating on kingfish. And the other thing is species orientated. Like you really got to target a species. You saw us this morning, we specifically targeted snapper. We're just fishing the shallows at Longy at the moment. We're getting an odd little fish, but no decent snapper. But we'll move out to some deep water soon, as soon as this sun comes up. So we're only in 10 metres of water here. We sucked at it, and then we moved on to kings. But you can't just say I'm going fishing and I hope to catch something, because at the end of the day you won't catch much. But I mean, the kingie fishing is excellent. It really is. I mean, we've got Sydney Harbour's basically a wreck haven. There's no commercial fishing. It's a deep port. It's got beautiful access. It's got, you know, abundant bait. We've got no trawlers going through there. We've got some of the great. We've got all those. What was it like? Wharves and just so much structure for the kingfish. Electronics, Lawrence has looked after us from the beginning. The HDS Live, I run as a sounder, and the older one we just run as a GPS, incorporated into our autopilot. I mean, everything else is pretty basic on the boat. Electronics wise, we only run a 600 watt through that because that's all we really do. We only really fish up to about 100 metres deep. We don't go to Browns. We're not even allowed to go to Browns.
And this is actually what did the damage today. Real nice P3 to 5 on the 5000 Clash, and she's got enough drag to handle a nice big king.
People just use them as a winch. They just physically just want to wind that fish in and just get in as quick as they can, which I don't blame them, but it takes their toll on the reels, and a lot of them, I think we went through 5 different types of reels before we settled on one, and they're all ended up in pieces. They have a really, really hard life.
They get flogged. They cop a bit of abuse. They get smashed, they get dropped, they get dunked. Honestly, something that a reel should probably not ever experience. We try to look after them, we try to do the maintenance and all that, but we need a robust sort of strong reel. And I can't fault these at the moment. These are just the Clashes, but been through all the brands, been through all the types, and just been really quite, not disappointed, but just hard to find the right one until now.
Unfaultable, like they just get punished. And a lot of the time we're running them out of rod holders, so the initial hookup, basically if he's running it's like maxed out drag. When you see those things go off in the rod holder, you're just cringing, just going, oh my God, something's gonna break. We've had them for probably 9 months now. I think I have not even greased them yet. It's all the runners, all the line rollers are perfect. Initially, it's the bail arm rollers, the bail arm itself. To me, like look at this, how solid these things are. And these are only a snapper reel. A lot of the other ones are flimsy. It's fully molded right through here, so you get no line catch at all. I found the other cheaper reels, they just falter there all the time. Handles are the other things that I mentioned before, they snap off. A lot of these, they tighten up too much. They ended up blowing out of there. These are absolutely perfect at the moment. Obviously drag is the ultimate thing. We're probably putting, all honesty, 12 kilos, maybe 15 kilos of drag. It doesn't sound like much, but that's a lot to hang on to. And then to a lot of the point, we're almost just flattening them out completely with lock drag. So yeah, and the other thing is corrosion. I mean, I've got all pens up here. They've been sitting there out in the weather for almost 12 months. There's not an ounce of corrosion on them. A lot of the other brands are just corroding and falling apart, and they really are.
Smooth drag is probably a necessity, especially when King's doing those big head shakes, long runs, or potential long runs, and just being able to stop them from getting back to the reef. As what my dad also said, is the roller, the barrel roller. Because if you get one nick in that braid, you've potentially lost your fish of your lifetime. And basically comfortability. A nice light combo like this, sits in the hand real good. It's just perfect. Can't ask for much more, to be honest. So we set this reel, this combo up actually last night. Just spooled it up with the X9 on it. And this is actually what did the damage today. Real nice 3 to 5 on the 5000 Clash, and she's got enough drag to handle a nice big king.
Snapper fishing super difficult. Like, a lot of people ask me for snapper charters, and I go, really? Basically, we get out here at 5 o'clock in the morning, by 6 o'clock you can go home. I mean, you'll get the odd big snapper during the day, but ultimately we find once that sun hits the horizon, we're thinking of other things.
Yeah, so our primary focus on Ocean Hunt is actually management of our fishery.
At the moment, fisheries allow 5 fish per person, so in theory, there's 5 of us here, we could take 25 kingfish, which is a joke.
With what my dad has done for the past 30, 40 years, tagging kingfish, he's actually got the ball rolling with this boat. He's made tagging trendy.
So we're working closely with fisheries as well with tag and release. I think we've been champion boat the last 4 years, Zane? Champion boat last 4 years for kingfish, Australia-wide.
With that, we've been able to get research for DPI and understand how our stocks are going, and at the moment, they're not going too good. They reckon, or they believe that they're around under 10%, which is really unfortunate. You look at a fishery like New Zealand and you look at the old photos of Australia, we had a very similar fishery. It's quite depressing that you go out maybe 100 times a year and only get one fish around 15 to 20 kilo, while New Zealand can consistently catch them. Yeah, if you book a charter with OceanHunter, you're gonna get one of these mongrels, eh?